You check your phone again. Nothing. It's been hours, maybe days since you last heard from her, and that silence is eating away at you. You tell yourself she's probably just busy. Maybe her phone died, or she's caught up with work. But deep down, there's this nagging voice whispering something you don't want to hear. If she hasn't called or texted, that means something. And you know it. Here's what most guys refuse to accept. When someone wants to reach you, they find a way. It doesn't matter how busy they are, how demanding their job is, or how complicated their life gets. In today's world, everyone has their phone within arm's reach practically every waking moment. So when the silence stretches on, it's not because she physically can't respond. It's because she's choosing not to. Think about your own behavior for a second. When someone you're genuinely excited about texts you, what happens? You light up. You respond quickly, even if it's just to say you're busy, but will call later. When you're interested in someone, communication becomes a priority, not a burden. But when you're not interested, when someone's attention feels more like pressure than pleasure, that's when responses get delayed, then forgotten, then avoided altogether. The truth is, her silence is communication. It's just not the communication you want to receive. Now, I know this hits hard. Your mind is probably racing right now, looking for exceptions, for reasons why this might not apply to your situation. Maybe she's different. Maybe she's playing hard to get. Maybe she's testing you to see how much you care. Stop. Just stop. This is where most men get trapped in a cycle of self-deception. They create elaborate stories to explain away behavior that's actually quite simple to understand. They convince themselves that pursuing harder will somehow change the dynamic, that the right text or the perfect gesture will flip a switch and suddenly she'll be interested. But here's what really happens when you keep chasing someone who's gone silent. You don't become more attractive, you become more desperate. Every unanswered text, every ignored call, every rationalization you make is actually pushing you further away from the outcome you want. Think about it from her perspective. She's already decided, consciously or unconsciously, that she doesn't want to engage with you right now. Maybe it's temporary, maybe it's permanent, but either way, your continued pursuit isn't changing her mind. It's confirming her decision. When you keep texting someone who's not responding, you're essentially saying that your need for validation is more important than her clear signal that she needs space. You're prioritizing your comfort over her boundaries, and that's not attractive to anyone. The hardest part about accepting this reality is that it forces you to confront something most men struggle with. Your worth isn't determined by whether one specific person chooses to respond to your messages. Your value doesn't increase or decrease based on someone else's level of interest in you, but we've been conditioned to believe otherwise. We've been taught that persistence pays off, that if we just try hard enough, we can win anyone over. We've seen it in movies, read it in books, heard it in songs. The guy who doesn't give up gets the girl in the end. Real life doesn't work that way. In real life, when someone consistently doesn't respond to you, they're telling you exactly where you stand. They're being as clear as they can be without having to have an uncomfortable conversation. They're hoping you'll get the message so they don't have to spell it out. And here's the thing that might surprise you. Respecting that silence, accepting that message, and backing away isn't giving up. It's actually the most attractive thing you can do. When you stop chasing, stop explaining, stop trying to convince someone to want you, something shifts. You reclaim your power. You demonstrate that you have standards, that you value yourself enough not to beg for scraps of attention from someone who's clearly not interested. This doesn't mean becoming cold or bitter. It doesn't mean writing her off as a terrible person or burning bridges. It simply means accepting reality and responding to it maturely. Maybe she's going through something personal and genuinely can't handle communication right now. Maybe she's confused about her feelings and needs time to sort them out. Maybe she's just not that into you. Whatever the reason, the appropriate response is the same. Give her space, real space. Not the kind where you stop texting but keep checking her social media obsessively. Not the kind where you back off for a few days then slide back in with some casual message. Real space means accepting that if she wants to reach out, she will. And if she doesn't, that tells you everything you need to know. This is where personal growth happens. In that uncomfortable space between wanting something and accepting you might not get it. In the gap between your expectations and reality. In the moment when you choose self-respect over the desperate need for external validation. Because here's what you'll discover when you stop chasing people who don't chase you back. You'll find people who do. You'll attract individuals who are genuinely excited to hear from you, who prioritize communication with you, who don't leave you wondering where you stand. But first, you have to be willing to let go of the people who keep you guessing. The silence isn't a puzzle to solve or a challenge to overcome. It's information. It's data about where you actually stand in someone's priorities. And once you accept that data, instead of fighting it, you can make informed decisions about where to invest your emotional energy. So what do you do right now? You put the phone down. You resist the urge to send that follow-up text explaining your feelings or asking what's wrong. You channel that energy into something productive. Hit the gym, call a friend, work on a project that matters to you. You remember that your happiness and self-worth aren't dependent on whether one specific person chooses to communicate with you. You remember that there are people in this world who will be thrilled to hear from you, who will prioritize you the way you've been prioritizing someone who clearly doesn't prioritize you back. The silence means something. It means she's not ready, not interested, or not available for what you're offering. And that's okay. It doesn't make her a bad person, and it doesn't make you inadequate. It just means this isn't your situation. And accepting that is the first step toward finding a situation that actually is.